So at least he didn't buy the clickbait that all the media did. So the judge said no sanctions, but he also said that Justin Baldoni needs to be better at finding people.
Yeah, we've lost some talk.
Hi and welcome to Flawsome Talk. I'm Tasty Flaw, journalist, Hollywood truth teller, and your voice of reason in a town built on delusion. Since it's Friday, it's usually my podcast day, but today I'm going to give you 2 episodes because there's so much going on and I feel like I really need to keep you posted on the Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni legal drama. So I will drop my podcast a little bit later today, but you should really come back for that because it is a really, really entertaining episode. I'm interviewing a Hollywood actress who's been in the game for 40 years. She has done over 70 movies and she is spilling some serious tea, you guys. And I mean serious tea. This is like R-rated tea. So please come back later for that. Anyways, so what happened that I really felt like I needed to share with you is, amongst other things, that the judge has now responded to Isabela Ferrer's harassment claims against Justin Baldoni. Remember, she claimed to the judge that Justin Baldoni had harassed her because he tried to subpoena her and he couldn't find her. And then she said she doesn't want to be subpoenaed by Justin Baldoni. She only wants to be subpoenaed by Blake Lively. And all the outlets picked it up and said Justin Baldoni harassed another actress. Blah, blah, blah. You know the drill. I talked about this a few times already, and I also talked about how this is backfiring on her. One of the reasons being that now she has claimed that harassment is when someone's trying to subpoena you, which is something that definitely Baldoni's team can use against her and Blake Lively in court. Because if that's the definition of harassment, how can we take anything serious coming out of Isabella's mouth, or Blake Lively for that matter? Anyways, so the judge responded and he said that Justin Baldoni's team needs to try harder. He did not accept their ask for subpoenaing her with alternative methods. He said, keep trying, basically keep bullying and keep harassing Isabella Ferrer by trying to find her. It's so dumb, you guys, what's going on here. And especially since she's complaining about legal fees, and this is just going to get her legal fees up higher. The other thing the judge said, thankfully, is that he's denying Isabella Ferrer to put any sanctions on Justin Baldoni's lawyers for harassing her with this subpoena. So at least he didn't buy the clickbait that all the media did. So the judge said no sanctions, but he also said that Justin Baldoni needs to be better at finding people because the 2 addresses that they tried to get hold of Isabella, she doesn't live in this place in Brooklyn, according to her neighbors and according to another neighbor out at Sag Harbor. She's not on that address either. To solve this problem like normal people would, she would just give them an address and say, hey, why don't you serve me here? Because she can't run away from the subpoena. It's the law. But instead, she wants to play cat and mouse. And the only thing that that shows us is that she has something to hide. She doesn't want to be found. She doesn't want to be subpoenaed. She doesn't want to tell Justin Baldoni what she told Blake Lively. The judge also said for you to prove that the subpoena is burdensome and harassment and improper, you have to be served first. Then you can file a motion to quash the subpoena like everyone else has had to do, including me. But before then, the judge can't really say anything about the subpoena because she hasn't told him why it's burdensome and why it's overreaching and why she shouldn't be subpoenaed. She claims that she's a non-party here, but how can she be a non-party when she's already subpoenaed by Blake Lively and she's her witness? That doesn't make any sense. And as I said before, they're talking about us, content creators and journalists, as third party. So we are more involved in this than Isabella Ferrer, that were on set, that was with Blake Lively like this during the entire promotion of the movie. She's less involved than us. Make sense of that. And we have another story, you guys, which I'm sure you felt the same way about when you read these headlines. So Blake Lively has just signed on to another movie with Lionsgate, the same company that did Another Simple Favor and A Simple Favor. And the movie is called The Survivalist. And Blake Lively made sure that the headlines were everywhere that she's attached to a new project. Anyways, when you look at her IMDb, her last project there is called The Husband's Secret. So that project was signed in May 2017, which is about 8 years ago. And nothing happened. There are no more people attached to that project. Just to put that out there. There was also a radio show where the author of The Husband's Secret, her name is Liane Moriarty, and she mentioned on an Austrian radio show that while Lively was once attached, her involvement is now very much up in the air. She said, I don't know if she's now detached. But Blake Lively kept it on her IMDb. Just to put this in perspective, you guys, that she signed up for a part as a producer and a actress in this movie doesn't mean that is ever going to happen or that is going to happen in the next 10 years. Page 6 did a story on this. They said Blake Lively roasted after landing starring role in new rom-com. Good luck to the director, it says. I was looking at some of the Instagram posts from all these outlets saying that Blake Lively got new parts, blah, blah, blah. And the comment sections are on fire. Everyone is like claiming things like, good luck to the director dealing with this drama. And someone said, I thought the survival list was the IMDb's of the other actors she's been in movies with. So anyways, that's the angle from page 6 here. And it says that Blake Lively was roasted on social media by Justin Baldoni fans after she was announced to star in and produce the forthcoming rom-com, The Survival List. I wouldn't say it's Justin Baldoni's fans necessarily only trashing her, roasting her on social media. I would say it's people that is calling out her lies and that actually believes the evidence and the facts that we've seen black on white. It doesn't necessarily mean they're fans of Justin Baldoni. I hate when they're saying like, oh, pro Justin or pro this. Like I said so many times, it's pro truth. We are following the truth here. And that's why people are criticizing Blake Lively for getting a new role here and Lionsgate as well for taking her on. I wish good luck to everyone else who wants to be attached to this project. At this time, there's only Mark Platt attached to it and no director and no other cast is attached to it. I find it hard to believe that anyone wants to be attached to this project. So I think people can calm down about this being a new break for Blake because I don't think it is. And I think now also what this does for her case is terrible because now she's contradicting her case again and what she's claiming that Justin Baldoni has done to her through this smear campaign, because she's saying that he's taking away her livelihood, that he has ruined her reputation so much that she can't get any roles. But hey, what's really happening here is that Blake Lively is getting new parts according to the trades, while Justin Baldoni is not. So who's the real victim here? In a court setting, the jury could see that Blake Lively is in demand here. She's getting roles even due to this legal feud. She's getting new parts, which means that this couldn't really have harmed her at all if there even was a smear campaign. So this is just terrible. Terrible move again by Blake Lively, trying to pretend to the public that she's super popular and in demand, and she still has a great reputation in Hollywood, while on the other hand, claiming that her life is ruined and her livelihood is gone, and that Justin Baldoni should pay for all of this because it's his doing. So these two things are contradicting each other, and it's not going to look great for Blake in court. Some people have been speculating who else could sign up for this movie, and we have 2 or 3 candidates here. One is Brendan Sklenar, and the other one is Isabela Ferrer, and maybe Jenny Slate. We'll see. That's about the list of the people. Maybe Salma Hayek, actually, because she's still friends with Blake. She still supports her. But apart from that, Blake Lively has no friends or no people in Hollywood who wants to be attached to her. Can you imagine the liability people sign up for if they actually join this project? If this is ever happening, they're going to find some young up-and-coming actor and actresses that Blake Lively can boss around. And then afterwards, they're going to be so traumatized that they leave Hollywood and start doing something else. Anyways, there is another big story today, you guys, which made me like, what? So this filing from James Vitushka. Remember that guy from the Daily Mail who filed an affidavit to the judge saying that basically he never received information from Leslie Sloan that could defame Justin Baldoni. And that ended up with Leslie Sloan, Blake Lively's publicist, that she was dismissed from the case along with New York Times and Blake Lively. That whole case. As you know, Justin Baldoni's countersuit against Blake Lively and the whole team and New York Times was dismissed. So this was so the judge dismissed that partly because of this affidavit from James Vitushka. Then there was a lot of rumors that James Vitushka was about to withdraw his sworn statements. And then we heard that he was fired from Daily Mail. And there were all these things going on behind the scenes, and he was no longer represented by the same attorneys. He found new attorneys, and everyone's like, wow, what's going to happen? Is he going to withdraw his entire sworn statement? Is he going to change it up? What's happening here? And that, as you know, is illegal, obviously, because that means you've been lying in court. So yesterday, he filed a new affidavit, again contradicting what he was saying in the original one and contradicting the things that he had said to other reporters. One of the YouTube channels called Without a Crystal Ball, Katie, who's behind that channel, posted on Instagram that she had received tons of emails and text messages from James Vitushka, where he was telling her that he was pressured to sign that first sworn statement by the Daily Mail. And they pressured him to say that because they didn't want him to be subpoenaed, and they were angry with him because it was now revealed that he had revealed sources that came to the Daily Mail. As a journalist, you should always protect your sources, which he didn't do because he voluntarily gave this information to Brian Friedman, who then used this information in the countersuit against Leslie Sloan and Blake Lively and everyone there. So now he's making up a completely different story. And now he's saying that it's Brian Friedman and Melissa Nathan's fault that he lost his job at the Daily Mail because they put his text message in there without the right context, that he had received information from Leslie Sloan. I know this is so complicated, you guys. My head is spinning just talking about it. So now he's blaming them that they revealed the information that it was coming from him and that they used that text message in their filing against his will. So now he's making them the bad guys, and he already made Blake Lively's team a bad guy, because if you go over to her Without a Crystal Ball, I would definitely listen to her entire episode of the latest episode she posted about this, because she's got all the receipts of everything that he told her. And he told her that Leslie Sloan is a liar and he's supporting Baldoni all the way, and he's showing evidence to her via email and screenshots that has been like emails going on between the teams at the Daily Mail and with legals and everything, showing evidence that Leslie Sloan was trying to make him plant in the Daily Mail. And the things that she told him, her only mission was to defame Justin Baldoni. So for him to sign a sworn statement that Leslie Sloan never tried to defame Justin Baldoni, that's just a lie. And now he's losing all his credibility here, because now he's contradicting himself again. So now he's basically saying that Brian Friedman knew that Leslie Sloan never had told him that Blake Lively was SH'd on that set. For me, in a sense, I feel that, I don't know if I'm wrong about this, but I feel like it should really strengthen Justin's case that Leslie Sloan never told anyone that Blake Lively was SH'd on that set. Because If that had really happened, don't you think she would be on it instantly to try and plant a story about that? And what Katie from Without a Crystal Ball also said in this Instagram post is that Leslie Sloan is known for doing this to other celebrities that are going against her clients. One of them, Bradley Cooper, which was really appalling what she said about him. So all these things she has in writing, and she said that he shared it with other journalists as well. So now he's just going to look like a clown, and no one's going to believe anything he says. So Blake Lively's teams cannot use him as a witness, and Justin Baldoni's team can't use him as a witness. And he lost his job, and he looks like a fool. Another question here is, why is he doing this right now? Why does he have to do this? It's not helping anyone that he's doing this. Maybe he's trying to help himself, but he's definitely not doing that, because now he looks like a person that can't be trusted. And now it looks like, because now you know that Blake Lively wants to get rid of Brian Friedman, and now he's giving them more fuel to do that, because now he's saying that Brian Friedman is the one that broke my trust and used this text message in the filing, and he knew that it wasn't really true, blah, blah, blah. So he might be doing that to help them, which doesn't make any sense, because all the emails and texts that he sent to Katie said that he believed Justin Baldoni was innocent. So now he's just a liability to everyone instead. His declaration swung the case once, and now he's trying to do it again. But unfortunately for James Vitushka, there are so much evidence, there's so many receipts that he sent to people himself that contradicts the things that he said in his sworn statement. And we know that he wasn't fired because of Brian Friedman. He was fired because he shared information about sources. You know, when sources contact a publication, or when sources contact me, I protect them. He didn't do that. And that is why he was fired. It was not because Brian Friedman didn't retract his name. He still broke #1 journalist rule. And that's why he was fired. Anyways, you guys, before I go, I wanted to point to this story that I spoke about the other day. Ryan Reynolds' new campaign for aviation gin and Wrexham, his football team, that's been slaughtered online. And I said to people, oh, the comment section is still open. There's some amazing entertainment out there. But now it is closed. So you can't read the comments anymore. He had to succumb. And now we had to close off the comment section. There's so much irony here that I just have to laugh about this sometimes, because it's so dumb. He's trying to sell products, but at the same time, he can't. At the same time, he has to close the comment section because he gets so much hate, but he still keeps doing it. It's just like a child, you know, just keeps pushing boundaries and keep doing the same things over and over again, even though you get yelled at every time. He just can't stop himself, because he just needs the attention, and he just really, really needs more money. So anyways, you guys, that's it for me today. I'm sorry if that James Vitushka thing was confusing. It's still a little confusing to me. I was trying to make sense of it. But anyways, as I said, please come back later for my podcast episode. It's on fire today. You're going to laugh and be shocked, and I'm sure you're going to learn something new about Hollywood. Anyways, if you haven't subscribed yet, please do, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss an episode of Flawsome Talk, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.
Yeah, we flawsome talk.